All right, y'all, what's happening? Welcome. It is September 10th. It is 11:30 Eastern. I'm sorry, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, and this is the Options Millionaire Bookmap stream. Welcome. So far, we are maintaining a long position from 23,945 on NASDAQ. We're currently 25 points in the money, and I'm looking for a tap of 24,000, baby. One, because that is where the high of the day is. Number two, because I'm not getting a high volume spike to show me that we've hit any kind of supply, which means I need to remain long. And number three, of course, Bookmap has a big old fat liquidity at 24,025. And if I can get 0.25, I would be pretty dang happy with this trade. That would be an 80-point trade on NASDAQ per contract on a day that's ultimately quite slow. And I will take it. I will take it. Let me make sure my YouTube is all set to go here. Here is the boom. Boom. We're good to go. What's up, Zoilus? How you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're also doing a 50,000 Take Profit Trader giveaway later today in the Discord, so be aware, be around for that. Thank you. Oh, man. Sorry, I was muted. I'm here. All right, so 23,973 here. We are long from 23,945 NASDAQ. I'm looking for 24,000, which is the high of the day. I'm going to continue to remain long until we either get a high volume spike and or we hit 24,000 where all that big fat liquidity is. So we keep getting these quick cash grab red candles, but none of them are supported by supply volume. They're all low volume stuff here. Not to say we won't roll over on low volume. We could, but my system demands that I maintain a long position until I have a high volume spike, which hopefully doesn't occur until 24,000. Bookmap's got a big old set of liquidity at 24,025 now, especially if you do have Bookmap software. You've probably noticed NASDAQ has had some weird anomalies the past 2 weeks. Whoever this dude is, or multiple people, has been putting on anywhere between 700 to 3,000 lots of NASDAQ, all to the upside, and they never fill. The price action will climb to them, and they'll be removed right before they get taken off the books, or right before they actually get transacted. Today was no different. They had 3,000 orders collectively between 24,027 and 24,008 before yet another top wick to pin, and then they removed the books, and now he's back on at 24,032. Is he spoofing? Probably. Is he trying to bait people? Probably. But regardless, the price action still transacts into those areas. So I will be monitoring those levels, especially this big guy, 24,000. Right now, without a volume spike, I'm going to continue to look for 24. What's up, YouTube? Welcome. Right now, Bookmap is running a couple of different events. Tomorrow has the Trader X Bookmap Special Order Flow event, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, September 11th, 2025. If you want to learn how to gain an edge using order flow, in addition to my streams, of course. Of course, I am biased. I'm the best order flow streamer out there. But here is the event graphic. In addition, they're encouraging you to have a little fun and share a picture of your pet on your trading station. Little companion, a trading companion per se. If you don't have a pet, then just take a picture of your wife sitting next to your desk. I guess that'll work too. Don't do that. Does a rock count? I mean, if you have a pet rock, I guess, from the 80s. You know, a guy made $1 million doing that, a pet rock. There you go. And make sure you tag your pictures with the hashtag BookmapPets. Still going here. No high volume spikes, which means no short position, which means I remain bias longed into 24,000. Do you ever think we'll have a bear run anytime soon like 2021 to 2023? I just think it's healthy for occasional bear runs. I do think we're going to have a bear run. I do. I think we're going to have a bigger bear run than 2022. But I do not know when. History says it happens 3 to 5 weeks after the first big cut, which is going to occur next week. Because if you go back and look at all the big bubbles, the dot-com bubble, the great financial crisis of 2008, the market cut, we went up for a period of time, and then we got demolished. And I think that's going to happen now. Not to mention, I think everyone can agree that the market can't continue to do what it's been doing to some degree, obviously. Do I want you to call the top? Certainly not. Certainly not. What do you think of the Russian drone attack on Poland? I won't get into it. How do you get that GEX thing on what website is that? What you're seeing on the bottom left is SpotGamma's options chain data. So they do a great job of presenting options positioning, which is fantastic. So that's why I think I've got a very accurate setup here with my system, which is volume price analysis. And then I've got my situational analytic tools, which is Bookmap, which monitors order flow, and then SpotGamma, which monitors options data. And those three things combined allows me to maintain and achieve very high hit rates. SpotGamma, Bookmap, do it. The top we will find. I'm pretty pumped, man. My new Vortex binoculars come today, and my shooting tripod. I'm pumped. Vortex optics, man. Have you ever tried Vortex optics? Man, they're the best. The warranty's the best. Plus, they give you 45% off if you're military. I got Vortex on my 5.56. Nice. I'm going to trade on Amazon. Does this indicated price action indicate absorption to go higher? Volume is low after the 3 Cs. That does look like absorption to go higher. You're smack dab in the middle of the range. What you're seeing there is just some price flow coming in at the 50, coming in right there. But unless I see a high volume spike, you're not going to get a full-on reversal. You may get a little tick down to regather some inventories, but I don't see any sign there of a reversal. Again, not to say it won't do it, so plan your stops accordingly. Don't go by just what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the chart there with the volume does not support a full-on reversal to the downside. Might follow you, earn my freedom for the day. I'm out of all positions and locked up. Nice math. Do it, buddy. Once I'm out of this position, with my profits that I've achieved today, I probably will go ahead and, I will, in fact, go ahead and lock out. You're welcome, Nico. I'd really, 24,000 once again is off the books. It's off the books. See that guy spoofing on and off? Where did you learn VPA from? I've been big into Anna Coling. I learned it from her book, Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. Do I do any dove hunting where I'm at? Absolutely. Dove hunting is actually my favorite. How much off? If you are a veteran, Vortex gives you 45% off their products. And lifetime warranty. So you could literally take it, throw it on the ground, and smash into a million pieces, and they will send you a brand new one. They're a fantastic company, fantastic quality. Highly recommend it. Yeah, hey, are you a veteran, Chris? And any veteran, mind you? If you don't know about this, go to govx.com. Govx.com. You're missing out if you're a veteran and you don't know about that website. I don't know what that is, Dan. Still holding 23,972. If you're just joining us on the show today, I'm still holding long NASDAQ. I'm looking for 24,000. Yep, I'm in GovX. Yeah, do it, buddy. Do it. Got to track out duck hunting if you haven't already. I do love duck hunting. I do love it. It's just in my neck of the woods, it doesn't quite get cold enough to have really good duck hunting. The duck hunting here is not that great. Maybe it's just because of the waterways we have here are not that great. I don't know. But Once I build the pond, I'm going to build, I hope to have my own duck hunting. I'm building a 5.5 acre pond next year, and I'm pumped. Alaska's freezing. Yeah. Yeah. I meant it gets too cold, not cold enough. I meant it gets too cold. Do I get geese? Yeah, sometimes I feed the geese outside, but we don't get too many, though. So when they do come, I feed them, but duck freeze solid in the air, it's right. 23,975. Still holding. Smack dab in the middle. Nothing's changed. I'm looking for that liquidity. How much you want to bet that liquidity up top will come back on at some point? We get much geese in North New Jersey. Nice. Expert Voice. Get rewarded for being a member of the military community on Expert Voice. Interesting. Really. Okay, I'll take that out. Yeah, thank you. If we can finally clear 981, we'll have a very quick trip to 24,000, which is only 19 points. But that will lock in a beautiful win for me. A beautiful win for me. And for us, hopefully. Here we go. Can we get 981, baby? That'll get us to 24,000. Let's go. Trying to get there. Have I mentioned that I'm only in buy the dip? No shorting. No shorting until we have the macro move down. What are you popping there? Tic Tacs? No, do you hear popping? I'm not eating anything. I took a sip of water, but I'm not chewing ice. I learned my lesson. Dan, you're killing me. Dan, you're killing me. You quacked me up. That's quacktastic. I love it. Dan goes 5 times a day. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. Has anybody used the top step reset yet? Funded account reset? Curious how that works out if it goes well. For 500 for a 50K? Nah. That's quacktastic. When you go to look for a suppressor, check them out. There are 20 to 60%. I will, yeah. I will. I want to build a short weapon, like a 10-inch AR, that I can keep in my truck at all times. I want a truck gun with about 1,000 rounds of ammunition. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a silencer on it and probably a little 10-inch. Pistol or a rifle 10-inch? Rifle. How would you read the Amazon chart volume going down without any directional action? Let's take a look. Amazon. How would you read the Amazon chart volume going down without any directional action? Well, when I see this style of price action here, you know, we've come back up and you hit the 50. On the money, hit the 50. And then it's stuck sideways. We don't have any supply volume. So if the price action came up to this area and you saw a volume spike somewhere in this area to show that this was supply, I would look for a retracement for at least either a double bounce or just a breach through. But this move lower here right now is not indicated by what I'm seeing. This looks like absorption. Come up, pin the 50 Fibonacci, absorb, and then climb up. Because without volume here, this supply does not exist for me, which is exactly the situation that I'm having with NASDAQ here. I'm maintaining long because I don't have volume. If I see volume spike on NASDAQ, I'll go ahead and move my stop up tight right here. So if I see a volume spike on NASDAQ here, I'm moving my stop up tight. I'm not going to risk them coming down and giving up 30 points, 40 points. Understand? Comprendo? Or comprendes? Check out PSA Jackal. Yeah, I might do that. Is this the book you're talking about? Yes, sir, it is, Damien. That book will change your life. Hey, there we go. Here comes 988. I'm going for 24,000. Now, here is the dealio. 24,000 is my target. If we hit 24,000, which we may here in a couple points, I will move my stop up and hold 23,985. I'll hold the next high. And hands off. Whatever happens from there happens. I will lock it up, baby. This is my first time here. What's up, Aaron Phillips? Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. What website is it? Which website? Capiche? Yeah, how you doing? Get them gabagoop! I listened to the unofficial audiobook of that book while reading the book over the weekend. Nice. I DM'd her trying to get me to do the audio, but she never responded. I didn't even do it for free. What website do you have the Gex? The bottom left is SpotGamma. SpotGamma.com. The top is what you see is Bookmap, which is order flow. In my opinion, the best 1-2 combo you can have to watch the market. Absolutely love this indicator. Nice math. You have radio voice? Thank you. I did slide into her DMs, yes. Yes. Chapter 1. Volume Price Analysis. Actividad A. Listen and repeat. What's your Bible study process? I have two different ways I actually get into the Bible. One, I have a daily structure, which is my church puts out a New Testament reading guide where we read every day. We start out at Luke and we go all the way through Revelations and to the end. Luke's not the first Bible, first chapter in the or first book in the New Testament, but that's where we start because they go by timeline. And then for my Bible study, we go on whatever the preacher's studying on Sunday. A little bit extra volume, a little bit, but not much. On the 1 minute Twizzy, you've got to have you have to demand like obviously high volume on the 1 minute, because this, although if this were the 5 minute chart, I would consider that high volume. On the 1 minute, no. I need this type of volume to consider extreme outlier volume, at least on the 1 minute chart. So is it an increase? Yes. So I need to pay attention to it to see if it happens more. That is a increase, but that is not high volume. It's just higher. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And I need to be careful here because that does look like an obvious sweep. I was hoping I was about to get my 24,000, but so far no dice. You're welcome, Jay. Is SpotGamma and Bookmap available to all, or do you have to purchase them or sign up for something? Those are tools you have to purchase, yes, but they're the only tools that I use. SpotGamma does not do order flow, but they do options flow. Bookmap does all the order flow; they do not do options, so they're a perfect combination. Perfect combination. Highly recommend them both. But look, the reason why, especially, I guarantee you there are people out there who are trying to short this price action and they're getting very aggravated. Just go down, blah. But they don't have the volume. If there was a high volume spike right here, I would be out of my position in a second. And I still may stop out of this thing here pretty soon. You want volume on your side, people. Still waiting. Am I a millionaire from options? I am not a millionaire from options. No. The Options Millionaire name was just a catchy name. I made my money playing stocks and real estate. Remember what I said about ES leads down on divergence, case in point. Yeah? Yeah. Slow grind up all day. Yeah, buddy. Will I do more videos on VPA? 100%. Yeah, I have more videos coming out. All the time, man. All the time. Is Hero still call heavy? New. 4 million in calls, 650 million in puts. Any recommendation on real estate? Right now, I don't. This is a very difficult market. The way that I achieved 6 homes on real estate cannot be achieved today unless you have significant money already hanging out in the ranks. You know, back when I started, I was buying $140,000 homes. Nowadays, you're not going to get that. So it's a very difficult market to start out in real estate. Not to mention, there's a lot of laws that support the deadbeat renters, which are no bueno. However, my recommendation still, if you do have the money to get in real estate now, is to buy the worst home in the best neighborhood, the best school system, and fix up the home. Don't buy the best home because obviously it's too expensive. So buy the worst home in the best school zone, fix it up, and everything else will take care of itself. It's the reason why right now my real estate agent calls me every week with someone wanting to buy my property, because I have the best school zone in town. And everyone wants their kid to go to this school, and they're willing to put down millions of dollars to do so. School zones are the ticket to a successful rental property. School zones. May I ask where your entry was? 23,945 was my entry. I stopped at my first entry. I stopped out of my first enter long for earlier long for a loss, but hit a nice one off the second bottom. Nice. Does the school have security with AR? No, they have security, but not AR, which is stupid, I think. So buy the most ugly house in a school and fix it up. Ugly? I mean, yeah, I guess ugly would work. But the fixer-upper. Find a fixer-upper house in the best school zone that you can afford and fix up that house. Put a little elbow grease into it, a little sweat equity. Because remember, the purpose of that renter, the purpose of renting out properties is not necessarily to make income right away. It's to pay the mortgage, to build equity in that home so you can begin to refinance, so you can begin to have some legal wiggle room to get out of that into other positions. I mean, it's all about managing your liquidity, managing your investments. And then after 10 years, then you can start thinking about, well, can I start driving income? Can I live off of my rental properties? But your first 5, 10 homes is not about getting rich off of rental properties. It's about paying for your equity. That way, in 20 years, you can say, I've got 10 paid for homes. What was the confirmation to get you the trade you're in? 3 C's. We talked through it. The high volume bottom wicks, and finally the move over 933, 940, which was the prior highs. And once we got that, once we got over like 940, 941, I did take a little later entry than I would like, but I got in and off to the races. Do I use stop entry? Yes, I do. Right now. How long have I been in real estate? A little over 10 years. Well, I mean, it really depends on what you mean. Like, my first property that I have, I officially got back in 2011, but I did not turn it into a rental property until a couple of years after that. By the way, so house, yeah. Being a slumlord is my lifelong dream. You don't want to be a slumlord. That'll make your rental properties can easily eat your lunch, just like max leveraging NASDAQ can eat your lunch. All right. Flipping is the worst. Yep, I flipped one property, and it was awful. I would never do it again. Not for me. I know people who successfully flip it. I don't know how they do it, honestly, especially when today's prices. I don't know how they do it. My tenant yesterday told me she wouldn't flip the circuit breaker switch for the fridge and threatened me that I was going to be paying for food that's in the fridge. She'll be leaving at the end of the month. Yep. Yep. No volume, no sell. Not yet. I've had one rental and it was the worst experience of my life. Professional renter that I couldn't kick out. Yeah, that's the problem. I've had one completely destroy a home, which was no fun. I posted pictures of that back in a couple of springs ago. I have a friend that's making a fortune in Section 8s. Yeah, that's the way to go if you can deal with the clientele there. Do I think buying a gas station is a good idea? Dan? I don't know. I've never dealt with gas stations. I know they deal with small margins. I know that you're not making any money on the gas. You're there for the bringing in the people off the streets to buy gas, and you're gonna sell them whatever's in there. But me personally, I know nothing about that industry. I don't know. I don't know anyone who owns a gas station. Yeah, I've heard good things about laundromats. Laundering mats. I know what you're talking about, Dan. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, Damien, I've read some interesting stories about how that happens. That's not a coincidence why that's the owners of the gas stations. They're being pushed to do so. I've heard a lot of good things about storage units too. Yeah, storage units. I think you need to be a tradesman or a GC if you want to be a house flipper and make money. Yeah, I agree. Are you within that industry with your friend? Negative. No, I don't do business with any partners. That's a terrible idea. The only ship that can't float is a partnership. Would I buy a laser tag place? Yep. And I'd put a guy in charge of it named Danny. I have a friend now, yeah. Yeah. Hanging out, 23971. No movement. What is Danny in charge of now? Laser tag. But that's a Breaking Bad reference. Thanks for the job. Am I going to get 24,000? What do you think? Right now, the option changes looks not good. Not good at all. No bueno. The Danny Gabagoo. Terrible price action. Look at the 15-minute. Just disgusting. It's almost got my stop. It's almost there. 56. Don't stop me out. How long have I been trading? I'm coming up on my 14th year of trading. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's been a heck of a ride, that is for sure. I've learned a lot. I've changed a lot. Fixed a lot. Lost a lot. I got tired of waiting. I'm taking the day off. Nice, Tenchi. What's up, Quackazoid? What you got there? Yeah. How the tier 2 who's like that macro level, baby. Macaroni with cheese. Not really much to go over at the moment. It's just dead flat. They took off all upside liquidity. The 24,000 keeps coming on and off, but we're still holding. I've got my stop set to take my profits. It's to protect what profits I'll have there at that point. And then we're coming up. If you don't mind me asking, have you made at least six figures with trading? Yes. Heck, my biggest trade was 158,000. Is there a good literature somewhere on SpotGamma how to understand it all? I don't, not that I know of, because I haven't created it yet. One day I'll I'll join the illustrious club. I got you, Quackazoid. I got you. Oh, man. This is about as tight as it gets right here. Pretty sure I hit 1/5 of that on the props one day last week. Nah. Just waiting. Just waiting. Pretty muted. It is. I see no volume spikes though, man. You know, just nothing. We're just pinned. You know what they say, never short a dull market. Never short a dull market. We have volume, a little bit of volume. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? That is a high volume spike coming in. That's a high volume spike coming in. What are they going to do? And they're bottom wicking. What are they going to do? Do I watch high volume spikes? I watch the high volume spikes on the 1 minute. You jabroni. Yeah, I watch high volume spikes on the 1 minute to determine where the volume is going to hit, and then I confirm on the 5. And right now, the 5 ain't telling us nothing. Doji after doji. I may regret it, but it took my profits. I don't think you're going to regret that, Twizzy. Even if it goes to 24,000, whatever. It's not that big of a move. Just keep yourself safe. That's it. She's got me spending all my money on me. Could have been more inclined to stay in if I didn't take the earlier loss. That's all right. King Jabroni. If you're just joining us, we are holding long NASDAQ. I'm looking for 24,000. We have no top wicks. We have no 3C shorts. So it's only long bias till 24,000 on the slowest day in history on NASDAQ. We are doing a Take Profit Trader $50,000 account giveaway later today. I'm going to give out 2 accounts. The only people who are excluded are the ones who have already won. We're going to leave it open for people who haven't won. Unfortunately, it's not the $1.7 billion jackpot that somebody won in Texas last week, but it's something. Oh, man. You think it was 2 states? Yeah. I'm going to win. I can feel it. Nice, Bobby. I would have to move and change my name if I won $1 billion. Spending all my money on me. Why is that song stuck, man? That song's like 15 years old. Did you post in the giveaway channel? Not yet. I posted a heads up for it, but I didn't post it. Not yet. Was there? Oh, it was 2 states. Oh. Did I go over what happened with QMMMM? Negative. Not familiar with that name. Nice Twizzy. Right by where I live. At least it wasn't California this time. They seem to always get the Powerballs. After a few months of trying, I finally passed my eval challenge. I love it. Well done. And I'm stopped. So I'll lock in my measly profit. Well done. Keep it up. Now that you've passed it, though, the next challenge starts, which is the funded account. So take it slow. I cannot tell you how common it is for someone to struggle to pass an eval. They finally pass it, and they blow the funded account on their first day, or even their first 2 days. Your goal right now, is not to make money. Your goal is to keep that funded account open for 30 days. Trade in a way that allows you to trade effectively, consistently, and keep the account open for 30 days, and the money will be incidental. The money will come, but if you focus on how much money can I make in one day, you will blow the account day one. Don't do it. Don't do it. You've done that more than once. Yep. A long time ago, we read a stat that I forget what it was. I'm going to paraphrase, but the average funded account amongst all prop firm traders was like 48 hours. The average funded account lifespan is like 48 hours. The average. That means there are many people who can't even survive an hour. So, what does that tell you? Is that the prop firm game is tough business. It's tough. Listen to the things that I teach you. Listen to the things that Futures teaches you and other people. Slow and consistent. You're welcome. I'm 3 weeks into my eval and still haven't passed it. I've taken it very slow, within 2 microunits on non-news and 4 on good volume news days, and I'm still only $600 away from blowing it on a 50K account. Then you don't have an edge. That's it. So we need to trim up. Either your risk management is bad, or your entries are bad. So we need to lock in your edge and figure out what that is. What are your metrics for entry? That's the question I would ask you. Again, in addition, if you're someone who sits at the computer all day long waiting for a move, I would be willing to bet that you don't have an edge, that you do not have a process on which you define an entry clearly and consistently. Because most likely what you're doing, you're sitting there waiting for a setup until you finally see a setup appears, or may not appear. Maybe you force it. So less is more. Less is more. You as well, Derek. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's 2 to 3 days. Still got my first funded open. Nice, Hal. Well done, buddy. Proud of you. Proud of you. You're welcome, Gavin. You're welcome. A little bit of red coming in. Nice. ES is back down to Friday's highs. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe low of the day touch. Ooh, piece of candy. The good thing about this stuff, which once again, I am looking to buy the dip if I were to play, and once I sign off here, I'll be done for the day. For me, let it come down to the opening range low, give you a 3C high entry, and take an entry. Buy the dip. That's what I'm going to look to do. Can someone tell me why FedEx and UPS has not put tracking on their trucks like Amazon does, so you can't tell exactly where your package is going to be there? It's ridiculous. I've got a high dollar package coming, and if my neighbor steals it, I'm going to end up on the news. Give it 1 minute till it reverses back to highs again. Not yet. Not yet. I'm speaking for us all, but thanks for always providing a great spot for Mike Minds to speak about markets, VPA, and all the knowledge you've got. You can't put. Oh, thank you, Bandit. Appreciate you, buddy. We do have tracking on our trucks. How come I can't see it? Tell me how to see it. Furl Gates. I've looked everywhere on my UPS and I can't find it. Your knowledge is unmatched. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here and your consistent support of the community. Never traded props. So any potholes? Oh, you deleted it. Is your neighbor low IQ or something? I won't comment on that. But yes. They're just tracking the drivers. No, but FedEx has flock cameras on their truck. Well, that's flocking nice. I won't say it, but yes, yes. Alrighty. Hey, Mr. Liquidity's back. 23,950. NVIDIA is up 3% because they announced they sell GPUs to Oracle and then rent them back from Oracle. Just trying to understand the market. I love it. I feel like I'm in an Asmon Gold stream. I don't know what that is. What is the one thing you want to automate on TradingView? If I can identify 3C setups, which, you know, while I'm not necessarily, if I'm sitting here monitoring the chart, I don't need something to tell me a 3C setup. When I am unaway from the, if I'm unaway, yes, if I'm away from the charts, I would like for something to say, hey, something more than just high volume spike, but here's a potential 3C setup on gold, on oil, on RTY. Here's the price, here's the volume, blah, blah, blah. It's above, I would like for it to say something like, hey, can you monitor volume spikes that is at least 40% above the prior hour volume? Something like that. 50%, it's 50% higher than the average volume of the past hour. If I could get something like that, I think that would be a gold mine for me. On a way, yeah. 5 more minutes, and unfortunately we'll have to finish the stream. So if you have any questions about the position I took or anything else, hit me up in the chat. AVGO is up 384% on long-term forward. Nice. You ever see that TrendSpider website? You can just create strategies and just, I did, yeah. I just got here. Can you go over your trade for me? Yes, I longed 23,945 this morning on the breakout of the 3C move, which was right here. And I just stopped out at 58, 23,958. So to visualize, 945 is here. The 58 is here. So I netted 13 points. So I was going for 24,000. We have tracking on our trucks. Can I update Hero? I can update Hero. I can be your hero, baby. 2.1 billion in puts, 529 million in sold calls. They dumped a tremendous amount of calls on that move. Tremendous amount of calls on that move. Can anyone say what the confirmations were for a long? Had different perspective on NASDAQ, was short from 10 a.m. until now. I didn't long. I longed down here, so I was looking for a 3C bounce. So we had high volume spike. So the 951 high volume spike was the big level, the big move. That's the first sign of volume. Then we had the bottom wicks. Then we had the third criteria, which was moving over the prior highs. Can you look at my trade and help me see where I went wrong? Sure. Let me see it. I may have to do it off stream because we're gonna have to wrap up here in about 2 minutes, but I can't go long on the Bookmap streams. So I entered on the 3C. Looks like a pretty good entry. Oh, I see what you're saying. The volume was low and decreasing, so I held anticipated move higher, but price came down anyway, lower V and stopped out. All right, so your entry is a little late. So your entry wants to be, in this particular example, your entry wants to be near the bottom of that candle you entered on, the first candle. So once you take out that prior high is where you want to start to look to enter. And then you lock in your profits. So you were just a little late on your entry, that's all. But even still, you were profitable. It's just the price action rolled back over on low volume because this is the environment that we're in right now. I use cascading alerts for the 3 Cs. I have 5 Cs, but they're 3 just. Oh, nice. Very cool. You're welcome. Great question. In general, trades may or may not work out. You can do everything right, and there's always a percentage that goes against you. 100%. You're exactly right. That's why risk mitigation is so crucial. I mean, heck, that right there was a 3C bounce on the 1 minute at least. The 5 minute too. Tomorrow is CPI, baby. CPI. Be ready for it. I'll be at the computer. It'll be crazy. I was trying to understand the mechanics of why price dropped off when the volume was low. Yeah. The 3 Cs help identify confident setups. It doesn't say it absolutely will not reject or bounce without volume. It just says if you want a confident entry, then the volume is what's really going to help you. So, but yeah, good question. All right, y'all, that is 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, so I have to lock it up. If you have any additional questions, please hit me up in the channels. Shoot me a DM, whichever you need to do. Other than that, I will see y'all next Wednesday for another Bookmap stream, or tomorrow bright and early for our exclusive Discord Discord stream. So, y'all have a great rest of the day. I'm out. See ya.